Making millions playing tennis. This is an exciting topic. This is part 3. We had a part 2 also. We have an intermediate part 2 that's in the middle of this. So what is part 2? It talks about us as a company. And so you'll have a feel for who we are and what we do and where our focus is. And actually, we're a problem solver for any kind of tennis challenges you have, frankly. So if you're trying to move from number 300 in the world to number 150 in the world, that's our world. Now you're talking. That's our place and time. We do that with a training manual. We walk you through 12 chapters and more, much more, as well as the classes that we've set aside, the syllabus and the homework assignments and so forth. Anyway, let me get started with this program. This is a deep one. This is about making millions, part 3. In this episode, what will we talk about? First, 3 suggestions that gives you an advantage over your opponents, actually during your tournament matches. Second thing, we're going to give you examples of how to set your tennis goals, like I just mentioned. 3, we'll show you how to communicate in a brilliant way, actually, with your inner circle while you're playing in your tournaments as well. So hi, I'm Coach RJ, and it's our mission to expedite your specific tennis goal. And that may be to win a free ride scholarship, which there are tremendous advantages to that, 5 in total. I mean, just to cut to the chase, not only do you get a free ride scholarship, but you still play tennis, and you still, at the end of your collegiate career, get to participate on the pro tour if you want. In other words, you get to do it all. It's just a time element involved, that's all. That's one quick look at it. But let's talk about our tennis quiz today. Okay, Novak Djokovic has a nickname that he's assigned himself. All right? The top pros, and we suggest you consider this too, even though you're not a top pro, but it helps reinforce your subconscious, which helps reinforce your conscious, which helps you to identify with the future you. Anyway, what's his nickname? You got an idea? What do you think? All right, well, time's up. The nickname is the Wolf. Yeah, you already knew that. All right, I knew you knew that. So here are the 3 suggestions that we give you while you're playing your matches. Don't show your best shots too soon. And of course, you're going to wonder why. You want confidence. You don't want to just come out there and just be cold or anything. You want to work on your best shots. Yes, you want to work on your best shots, but you already practiced before you came on the court. And then when you got on the court, you practiced. Of course, you're not doing your best shots then during warm-up either. But the point is this, that if you're showing off your quality shots too soon, they are not caught off guard. However, if you wait till the right moment while they're serving, for example, this is just one example. They're serving and the score is 30-40. Yes, now's a good time to show one of your fancy shots. Yeah, see, you get my point? Don't show them off too soon. Number 2, start programming your opponent early in your match. Programming means you're conditioning their mind to expect you to hit a certain shot a certain way. That means you repeat that shot over and over. Politics uses that too, called the Mockingbird Project, but that's a whole nother story. Anyway, so yes, you're training your opponent to expect, for example, a backhand cross court. They know you can hit it down the middle on your backhand because you've done that too, but they don't realize you can hit a flat back. And when you do that at the right times, again, and if you're in trouble, you can pull it off then too. But ideally, you want to use it when it's at your advantage. Then you go with your flat back down the line. Boom. Too late now. I mean, you didn't get them warmed up to this fancy new opportunity. So there's one more. It's the 3rd one. There's a lot of things we can share. We're just going to do 3 right now. And that is use your secret weapons at key times in your favor. That's kind of what I was hinting at just minutes ago. But you have secret weapons which are different than your fancy shots. It's different than programming. Your secret weapons are specialty shots, unique to you. Specialty to you. So you get the point? Yeah, you have a special, like an inverted serve, perhaps, or something else, whatever it might be. Maybe you've mastered the art of drop shots and then offensive lobs afterward. There might be a skill like that you've mastered pretty well. So there's some older tennis players in their 30s who have mastered specific shots like that. And you need to kind of follow them around. So Bublik, he's one of them. He's mastered a drop shot and a bunch of others. He doesn't want to stay out there with long rallies in his case because he's getting older too. His body's starting to wear down a little bit. So you get the point. So there we go. Now what? Well, let's see. I was going to give you some more information about researching a certain person. I really don't have that kind of time. So I'm going to move on to this other part. Who is Tennis Treasures? Again, just to be sure you're clear about this. Tennis Treasures is a 6-month high-performance virtual tennis training camp. That's a mouthful. And just for someone to make it through the 6-month program and get their honorary master's degree in tennis science means that that person is highly qualified to achieve their goals. Whatever that might be, they're getting the job done. But we offer something else now, something new. We're offering a 3-month training camp too, which is half the price of the 6-month. So I'll talk about that a little bit later at the end. But let's talk about goal setting briefly, if I may. All right. The correct way to set goals with us, this is how we work, is that we have you have a plan. Well, we create a plan for you. But first you have a goal. For example, a person's number 300 in the world. They want to be number 150 in the world, or somewhere in that area. Everything's approximate. So that's a good goal. That makes sense to us. And we have a time set aside for that achievement. And then what else do? We suggest that you make sure that you're qualified. So we have prerequisites set aside for you to verify that you can do this, that we can help you do this. So without the prerequisites, we can't promise anything. We gotta wait unless you got 4 of the 5 and the 5th one you're working on while we're going through our classes. That may help, that may work. But we're not going to bring you on board if you don't have enough prerequisite backing and strengths. For example, the first prerequisite is what? Any guess? Come on. Try to outthink me on some of this. Is your skill set. What's your skill set at? It's more than your UTR rating or ATP rating, if you have an ATP rating. It's more than that. It's more than rankings and ratings. So it's about identifying how good you are compared to someone else who's making money on the Pro Tour. We do a side-by-side comparison. Somebody who has similar skills that you have, but yet they're making at least $4 million or more. And then we do a side-by-side comparison. Where do you think you are? Let's see, how would you predict you would turn out if you played that person a match? What do you think the score might be? Those kind of things. Then we can get a feel for where we think you are in your skill set. Out of the 5 prerequisites, there's something else too, and that is, do you have any significant injuries, especially the reoccurring ones? Then we would suggest you consider reaching out to a holistic physician. Anyway, another example is somebody who's ranked 150 in the world. They want to be in the top 50. Yes, these are people we help. And even the smaller person, I shouldn't say smaller, but that person who wants to what? He wants to get his first ATP point. What do we do with him? We help him get that ATP point within a certain specific amount of time. We help identify your goals and confirm it's achievable by you within that time that you seek. Right? So let me also share with you that Tennis Treasures training manual was designed to position our client to make lots of money on the Pro Tour. It was designed specifically for that. This is it. Yes, it's heavy. Yes, it's big. Yes, it's thorough. Yes, it's 100 pages. Yes, it's 12 chapters. Has 11 URL videos built in this sucker too. 24 question and answer quiz in the back to make sure you know what we know. Plus, we give you one-on-one relationships of training, not group training. We are a tennis camp, but a virtual one. You work from home, the security of your place, not traveling across the world. You don't have to go to Spain. Plus, within 1 week of training, What do you got? Yeah, you got something to work with, but how far is that going to take you? For the cost of 1 week of training, which is around $2,500, is the best cost we could find of quality training. For that same price, you get 3 months. So 1 week, let's compare apples with apples. 1 week of training for $2,500 versus 13 weeks of training. 13 versus 1? Hello? There's no way we can cover all of the material we got in 1 week. It's not an option. You can't do that. It's too many. I mean, we're talking about chess tennis. We're talking about how to play the score properly. We're talking about how to win 90% of your tie breaks or more. We're talking about the military campaign of Chapter 7. You can't do all that in 7 days or 6 days or 5 days, whatever they do. No, and there's more. That's just a few chapters. That's just Chapter 7. How about Chapter 8? It's a wrap. When you get Chapter 8 mastered with the numbers game, there's no more comparison. You're winning money. You're getting sponsorship. Chapter 8. Chapter 9, the mental edge. This is your training manual after the class, during the class. And you get an ebook. Anyway, I digress. Let me continue. So the afterthought after creating this brilliant manual was to help help high school players get a free ride scholarship. So that's what we're doing. We're offering that to you as well. So it's up to you how you handle that. We will show you more as time goes on. Now, where do you want to go from there? Let's see. So, what's your first step? Well, let's start with you. Taking our free chess tennis class. Chapter 4 is yours. All you have to do is go to tennistreasures.org, and sign up. Say, okay, I want to take the free class. And we schedule a day and time that works for you. It takes about an hour. And we read it off to you, go through the details, show you how it works. And its goal is to do 3 things. This is the purpose of chess tennis. And that is, 1, to allow you to have the ability to win against players, be able to exercise the ability to win against players that you usually lose to. That's the first basic part. That's when you'll see immediately results. Next, you'll see that you're starting to win against players who are seeded in tournaments that you're participating in. And it's like an upset, and the seeded player doesn't figure out what's wrong. I mean, how did that happen? All from Chapter 4. And one more step, one more result of Chapter 4, and that is you're winning tournaments. Because, even if you're not seeded, because you implemented all of Chapter 4. And we've got proof, we got evidence of this. Yes, that it works. When a person won the majors by following Chapter 4, chess tennis. So you get the point. It's just that alone. So now you get to see how we work, how things happen. It shows you how to win against players that you never thought you'd win against. Tennistreasures.org, O-R-G. So, what do we do next? First of all, let me start with this. We have another video. It's a sister video. And this video is set up so that the name of it is, I'll give you the name, Making Millions Under the Radar. We're talking about making millions here. That's what that is. It's only 4 minutes long. Making millions under the radar. What do you do with this? You look at a teleprompter. And on the far right, first you hear my voice. On the far right, it shows you the total earnings of each of these players that's coming across your screen. And you'll see some are like $500,000, 1.5, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million. And these are players who are playing singles and doubles. Some are just playing singles, some are just playing doubles. But the point I'm getting at is you've never heard their names in your life. That's what I'm trying to say. They're under the radar. They're not being promoted by the mainstream media at all. And that's okay. It's all right to stay not a celebrity. I like that. You can walk on the beach and not be accosted with people asking you for your autograph. So that's the sister company or a sister video to this. And we're going to put it down in the description, the URL, the link, we call it. All right. There's one more thing I'm going to give you real quick, and that is a clever way to communicate with your inner circle, a brilliant way to do that, actually. And this is it. We're going to train you how to use codes. First, you memorize the codes, and then we make sure that your inner circle has a laminated list of these same codes. What's a code? A code is a formula or a tactic or a strategy that you're going to use that allows you the ability to take care of that situation that you're in on demand. So another example is this. All right, you're playing in a tournament, and all of a sudden, your inner circle notices something that you're not doing, even though you've trained for it, but you're just not thinking about that right now because of the pressures that you're under. You're at ground zero, the epicenter of this event. And you're trying to keep your cool with this person who's got some unusual shots. You're adjusting to that. You can't think of everything right then, but the inner circle sees something you don't see. And they're going to give you a code. They're going to remind you that LPSP, that's a code. R&R, that's a code. D5, D3, a code. All these are codes, and there's more. So they're going to, throw that out to you. And just like in a professional baseball game, the catcher is communicating by way of hand codes to the pitcher, and the pitcher says, no. Yes, I do that. Yeah, good idea. And that's what happens. So there, you got the power. Except the inner circle just yells it out, or you create hand signals that you want to use between the two. Here's one hand signal right here that the tennis player gives the inner circle, or the inner circle gives back to the tennis player. Yeah. Leave a comment if you think you know what that means. You probably know. So we'll provide you with a complimentary laminated list of codes for your inner circle so they don't have to memorize them like you have done. And then you can now do your magic while you're in the heat of battle while supported by them. And you see the difference between the inner code approach versus the traditional cheerleading method that's used nowadays by inner circles and other people out there, the team, etc. There's no comparison. So subscribe to tennistreasures.org. Well, that's this website, but subscribe to this channel so we can get some more likes. We want likes, subscriptions, and we want you to leave a comment too if you have one. And ask questions. I'm available to answer any question that you want. So this is a brief class review. I'm going to show you one more thing too. Cover this picture. Who is this person? You probably don't know him. He's retired. He's a veteran of the tennis world. And his name is David Ferrer. What makes him so special? He has no certain powers that are obvious to us. But yet, he's made millions and millions and millions of dollars playing tennis. Yet, he was partially under the radar too. How much money has he made? Over $30 million. How tall is he? He must be really tall. Must have a big serve. No. He's 5'10". He's not that tall. He can do. I'm dating people taller than him. So no, that's not it. So you get the point. We want you to have the skill and abilities that he has, but yours are different because you're unique. His were different because he's unique. We dissect, we back engineer how these people do this. How did they do their magic? And we share it with you. That's how we perform. That's how we roll. So there you go. Now you have it. There it is. Please come visit us at tennistreasures.org and leave a comment down below. And don't forget, in the description, we're going to have that sister URL, the sister video for you to look at. So that'll be down for you. Take care. Talk to you soon. And in fact, I have another good one coming up in the next week or less. This is Coach RJ, tennistreasures.org. See you soon.